You are watching Travel World Online.
To Khushboo Gujarat ki. Today we have with us Shri Harit Shukla, Secretary Tourism, Devasthana Management, Civil Aviation and Pilgrimage, Government of Gujarat. We have Mr. Mahendra Singh Vaghela, fondly known to the trade as Mike Vaghela, to the world tourism canvas with respect to new and existing products, sales and marketing promotional strategies, and investment with special reference to connectivity.
I think we have talked about Gujarat, and I've got two opportunities to speak about a lot of things related to Gujarat. But since this is an exclusive session on Gujarat, I'll just very quickly go through some of the things which we would like to highlight. As we all know, India is an amazing country. Every part of this country is blessed with a lot of destinations. Similarly, Gujarat is also a very diverse state which offers a lot of things to the tourist. It's a variety of culture, people, place, heritage, history, cuisines, dresses, fairs, festivals, celebration, all those things which are there in most of our states. Gujarat also offers all of them. Gujarat is blessed with a very long coastline, 1660 kilometers of coastline, and along that we are now coming up with new destinations, new ideas, new themes, new festivals. Gujarat is also very well connected by air, rail and road transport. So we have 19 airports, out of which 3 airports are managed by the state government, where we are looking for partnership with private players to develop projects in and around those airports also. We have 2 water aerodromes. Gujarat was the first state to start seaplane services. Temporarily these services are not operative, but we hope to restart this service within next 2 to 3 months definitely. We have 42 ports, jetties, and more than 1.63 kilometers of motorable road. We all know that growth of tourism in India has been good, but in state of Gujarat it has been more than the national average. The number of footfalls of tourists is more than 6 crores, which is roughly more than the population of Gujarat. As of now, Gujarat is constantly improving its rank in number of tourists, whether it is domestic tourists or international tourists coming to the state. As of now, the maximum number of tourists that we get are either in business sector or in spiritual tourism. Hotel occupancies have also gone up constantly, and as I keep on saying, the number of facilities which were there in Gujarat have gone up substantially. We have more than 4,000 accommodation verified units and more than 100 star category hotels. If you talk about destinations, we have world's tallest statue, Statue of Unity, world's only home for Asiatic lion, Gir Forest, Asia's longest ropeway, Girnar ropeway, India's first World Heritage City by UNESCO, that is Ahmedabad city, world's earliest known dock, and India's first port city, Lothal, where also we are coming up with a world-class maritime museum. It is home of one of the India's exemplary city planning models of Indus Valley civilization, Dholavira. This time all the people who are going for Kutch Ranotsav, we are trying to connect them to Dholavira. The road connectivity from a motorable road has been developed from Khavda, Dordo to Dholavira, and for the first time we will have some camping facility in Dholavira, and people can go there and feel Dholavira and stay there. In future, master plan is being developed for Dholavira, and it will be developed to the world standards. It is home to one of the blue flag certified beaches, Shivrajpur Beach, which we are now majorly focusing on, and we hope that in the next 2-3 years it will be a major attraction for tourists coming from outside. India's first seaplane services, which were started from Sabarmati riverfront to Statue of Unity. Within, I think, next 15 days, we are again initiating the process of engaging a private party to run those services, and we'll try our best to resume the services as soon as possible. Gujarat as such has always been a very, very peaceful state. We have a better law and order situation, very friendly population. There is a continuity in policy and ease of doing business, reforms, and we have long-term proven track record in every sector, every policy. Tourism is also one sector in which Gujarat is definitely moving in a very positive direction at a very brisk pace. I hope that in future also, with new destinations, new festivals coming up, Gujarat will definitely do very well.
Thank you, sir. So policies catalyze tourism. You have identified adventure and sports, heritage tourism, cinematic tourism, and homestays as your policy formulation strategies. Can you just brief us on these facets, sir?
So, as you rightly said, besides the regular tourism policy, we also have a heritage tourism policy, homestay policy, adventure tourism policy, and there is a cinematic tourism policy which is at the draft stage and will be approved very soon. These policies have been formulated after a lot of brainstorming, a lot of consultation with the stakeholders, engaging all the industry people, and also comparing various existing policies. It is always the effort of the state to match the best elements of policy present in any other state or similar countries. So if we talk just about, very briefly about the heritage tourism policy, and these are broadly the contours which are there in other policies also. The policy would like to promote the new units in heritage hotel units or the expansion of the existing heritage hotel units. Plus, it promotes heritage restaurant, heritage banquet halls, heritage museums, whether it is new project or existing projects. There are provisions for incentives and concessions like capital subsidy, roughly 20% of the total investment, subject to certain caps for all these things which I have mentioned. Plus, there is interest subsidy at the rate of 7%, exemption on electricity duty, that is 100% exemption on the electricity duty, reimbursement of the property use conversion charge. So you all know that in Gujarat and in many states, you have to convert the use of the property, whatever charges related to that, they are also reimbursed in this scheme. Plus technical manpower support for payroll assistance for people who have come up with these kind of projects. And there is support for marketing, promotion and assistance for research in Gujarat for heritage tourism projects. So these are basic contours of heritage tourism policy. Very similar things are there in Gujarat tourism policy and other policies.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vaghela, as the industry, the stakeholders in front of you, they look to expand their product portfolio. How do you visualize wedding tourism and cinematic tourism in Gujarat so that the trade can find some new product portfolio for them? Wedding tourism and cinematic tourism.
Sir, today in India, 1800 to 2000 films are made and unlimited advertising of TV, television advertising and musical advertising. And Gujarat gets only 5% of that sector. Tourism department has this year onward taken a heavy promotion activity in this field. And they have promoted, they met a lot of producers and all that. And I remember we have brought the shooting of Destination of Fantastic. We have brought the shooting of the advertising first in White Run of Kutch. And then onward there are a lot of cinema. were shot in, 96 films were shot in Gujarat. And a lot of the advertising and things. And we need to do more, and government is helping us and doing it, a lot of pressure on this activity, and we will do successfully on this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vaghela. Sir, challenges offer opportunity. How have you visualized challenges and how have you converted them to positive trends? In your work profile, in your Gujarat tourism, you have experienced challenges and how have you converted them to some positive realities?
You see, sir, we... Oh.
This is for you, sir.
So I'll just answer your question, but I'll just like to elaborate what Mike Ji was talking about. So the new cinematic tourism policy, I think there is a lot of scope for doing cinematic tourism, promotion of that. So our new policy basically focuses on 4 things. One is that we would like more and more content to be shot in Gujarat. So there will be provision for support of shooting of films, documentaries, OTTs, web series, everything in Gujarat. Plus, there will be support for building shooting infrastructure or post-production, pre-production facilities in Gujarat. Also, there will be a special provision for affiliations and direct support for promotion of Gujarat tourism in films, web series, documentaries and all. And the 4th would be, in case of any big, large film-related events being organized in Gujarat, they will also be supported. So these were the 4 main elements on which our cinematic tourism policy is based. To answer your question, see, Mike Ji comes from Kutch, and we all remember we have been always facing a lot of big challenges, and we have always tried to come out of it, and by God's grace we have been successful in converting those difficulties into opportunities. Kutch has seen a massive earthquake, and after that I think Kutch has come up very well. The locations which you see in Kutch were so difficult, I think even going to White Run was a big project. And now it is one of the best tourist destinations in Gujarat and in India. People had not seen White Run, and now every year more than 100 maybe commercials and shootings are happening in Kutch. So we have this tradition of converting difficulties into opportunities. I'm sure with very, very progressive policy and support of state government, central government and our partners from IATO and private sector, we will be able to convert this biggest challenge of our lifetime also into a big opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vaghela, how has the industry in these challenging times embraced the new normal of safety, hygiene and security?
Sir, hygiene was a major sector affected during the COVID.
Mike.
During the COVID, we were affected, and that time we all hoteliers and the tour operators become very active, very safety conscious. And after that, now I say last 2 months, tourists have started to walk in, they are relaxing, but I am suggesting to industry, please do not relax, or otherwise we will get into that same route again and we will all suffer. So my saying is that hygiene is, and government is very strict about it. If my hotel has any, not meeting the standard of hygiene, they come and tell us, otherwise we will not recognize you. And this is very important for us.
Thank you, sir. Shukla, sir, we have heard that the Gujarat government is trying to initiate seaplane services from 4 new places. So that's one we would like to know. Second is heliports. And third, as you rightly mentioned a bit earlier, that you are contemplating something on the likes of Wagha border. I think these 2 are very nascent product profiles that you would like to cherish. So can you please highlight on these 3 places?
See, as you rightly said, this is the first route which the government of Gujarat has started between Sabarmati and Statue of Unity. There is further planning to convert Shatrunjay River and the Roi Dam, the other two destinations. So there will be 4 total places which it will be possible to operate seaplane. There are many other locations, in fact, which we are now exploring, and we have engaged some consultants to work on that. As I said earlier, this is a new experiment, and whenever we come up with something new, in fact it is new for the country, operating seaplane is a bit challenging, but we are very committed to it, and as I said, within the next 15 days we are again going to try our best to engage with the private players, and we are also working on a permanent solution so that the problems which we faced in the first attempt, or the learnings from our first experience, would basically teach us how to do it better in our second effort. I think other things which we have talked about, we are also trying to promote a lot of heliports so that people are able to travel using helicopters if they want and they are short of time. So first helipad and heliport services are going to start from Ahmedabad very soon. In fact, there were also news items in Ahmedabad, and the concept of joyride, which we see at many tourist destinations, which we had started in Run of Kutch also. We are going to start very shortly from the Ahmedabad Sabarmati aerodrome. So people will be, on the weekends, will be able to take a helicopter ride and see Ahmedabad and major destinations around Ahmedabad. And in the next step, we are trying to develop 6 major heliports. People will be able to charter helicopter or take regular trips from this Ahmedabad to various locations in Gujarat. There are a lot of ideas on which we are working, and I'm sure that in future we will try to enhance our air connectivity. In fact, recently we have approved 5 routes connecting our major destinations from Surat to Bhavnagar, Surat Amreli, Surat Rajkot. We are also trying to start, I think in first half of January, from Ahmedabad to Bhuj, also the flight connectivity will start. The last part which you mentioned about a new concept of border tourism that we are trying in Nadabet. As I told you, this is a closed border, unlike Wagha. But what we call is like a Sima Darshan scheme we had started, in which we started taking a lot of people to the border to give them exposure of the difficulties or the life of people there, BSF particularly. And gradually the kind of response we got in Sima Darshan. Sima Darshan was a project in which we took people in buses to see the border, and gradually the kind of engagement that we got, we have decided to develop Nadabet as a major tourism destination, and there will be lot of activities in and around that place. So you will have already if you go on Instagram, you will be able to see what kind of activities have started there. So whether it is desert safari, adventure zone, or a lot of adventure activities, adventure park, AR/VR zone for children. Then there is also an effort to give exposure about the history of BSF. And every evening there is a parade which is being organized in a massive stadium which we have created there. And there will be special events also on 15th August, 26th January. And obviously the biggest attraction is that we will be able to take people to go to the actual border, the fenced place, and there they can have the exposure and come back. So Nadabet and border tourism is one important project for us on which we are working.
Thank you, sir. One unique selling proposition. Question to each one of you. Please take just 20-30 seconds to answer this. One unique selling proposition that you would like to address with a strong IATO team in front of you for Gujarat. Sir, you start with it.
I think Gujarat, I would say the biggest factor is the people of Gujarat. They are always very welcoming, and anybody coming from outside is very warmly welcome, and the treatment he gets in Gujarat and the experience he takes back. Recently, we had hosted around 100 top influencers in social media, and they came to Gujarat. They visited various destinations, and as some of the speakers have already mentioned, it is the speakers, it is the travelers who come to Gujarat and experience Gujarat. They become our brand ambassadors. So I'm very, very sure the experience which the people coming to Gujarat get because of the public of Gujarat, that is the biggest advantage that we have.
So you, Mr. Vaghela.
Sir, experience of Gujarat has been taken by tour operator. They are the best ambassador of tour operators are best ambassador for experience to give it to the people outside of Gujarat and bring them in. I remember when we were about 25 years ago, tourism was only small sector. We had 5,000 tourists, they were very happy. And today we are not happy with 1 crore tourists, with domestic and all that. And now we request all tour operators also, don't look at it foreign tourists only. You have to have a domestic tourist, a giant, and you have to handle them. One seminar they told me, if you are 7:45 breakfast, foreigners will be sitting there. Indian will give 8:30 and you have to give them breakfast till 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And that we are getting ready, we are affected, getting ready for this. So I think tour operators are best ambassadors for this.
So there you are, IATO. Time is opportune. As partners in progress, let us catapult the tourism in Gujarat to a new, enviable trajectory. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chakravarti. Please remain on stage. May I request Mr. Sunil Mishra?
You are watching Travel World Online.